Okay, so what's the day done, Bulldogs, with another video. And tonight we are gonna be doing a reaction to another brand new food theory reaction video. Anyway, and this one will be food theory. Can you cook Christmas dinner in the dishwasher? You probably can, to be honest.
Lose all that money because I don't have to pay it.
Probably won't be the same, but you probably could. Anyway, if you like the reaction, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want us to react to next. Let's see and find out what this will be about. 3, 2, 1, let go.
Can you cook Christmas dinner in a dishwasher? I promised my wife that tonight I'd make her a holiday meal, and I'm doing it in none other than my very own dishwasher. Will I go to the top of the nice list this year? Or, like the Grinch, will I end up
Let's find out.
ruining everybody's holiday? Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show that can dish it out and dishwash it too. But speaking of dishing, this may not come as too much of a surprise to you, but here on Food Theory, we go through a lot of dishes. From
That's true.
pineapple pizza trays to citric acid coated plates to prim cake pans. You get it. We
It is food theory.
go through a lot of dishware. The problem is, running the dishwasher takes forever, which I know, what a privileged problem to have. But when it comes to food theory, time is money. It's hard enough to try to carve out enough time in my day to cook and film myself eating nearly a dozen bowls of mac and cheese, let alone cleaning up all those bowls and putting them away afterwards. But then I had a wondrously stupid idea. What if I could cook and clean my dishes at the same time? Today, I'm doing one of the dumbest things I've done in my kitchen. Top 5.
I wouldn't say it's stupid. Maybe kinda creative. But yeah, it could be stupid too.
At least. And that is cooking a meal in my dishwasher. And I know what you're thinking. Why? Well, the other day I was cooking and I was following a recipe that called for something to be sous vide. Sous vide? Sous vide. Sous vide. And I realized I don't have a sous vide machine. But then I looked at my dishwasher and I thought, it's kind of the same thing. So that's where the idea for this video came from. Can I cook an entire meal in my dishwasher? So this is what I did. I actually told Claudia that I would make us a special date night dinner tonight. I went out and got all the stuff, but here's the catch. If this fails, if this doesn't work, we don't have dinner. It's girl dinner galore, and I think the only thing we have is a half-eaten box of Triscuits. So, without further ado, let's see if I can get this done before she comes home. Now, in case you're not familiar with what sous viding is, it's a fun little technique from our friends in France. Sous vide, which literally translates to under vacuum in French, is one of the hot new cooking techniques that's been gaining a lot of steam online lately. It's super simple and it packs a lot of flavor. But how does it work? Well, when you want to start sous viding, you need only 4 things. A pot of water, something to cook, waterproof or vacuum sealed bags, and the real star of the show, the actual machine part of the sous vide machine. And it's this device where all the magic happens. It contains both a thermometer and a heating element, allowing you to precisely heat your pot of water to whatever temperature your heart desires. Then you just throw your bagged food in the pot and boom, you're golden. It's like a food jacuzzi. And there's really no limit to what you can cook sous vide, from meats and veggies to soups and even cheeses. In fact, in some ways, cooking things sous vide is actually better than the conventional way. You see, your traditional cooking devices, such as a stove or oven, cook food from the outside in. This works by cranking the temperature up super high and letting the heat trickle in. Then you have to make sure that the middle of your food gets hot enough while not burning the outside to a crisp. On the other hand, a sous vide machine cooks the whole piece of food all at once, gently, and slowly raising the entire temperature to the desired amount. And when I say slowly, I do mean slowly. Cooking something as simple as a piece of chicken can sometimes take upwards of 4 hours. And you know what? My dishwasher also takes several hours to run through its cycle, and it too uses a whole bunch of hot water. Perhaps we can use the power of sous vide to somehow turn cleaning time into dinner time. But we don't have that much time before Claudia gets home, so we better start chucking some things in there. But before we make the actual meal I'm gonna feed my actual wife, we're first gonna need to test this thing out. You know, get our feet wet, so to speak. And I know what you're thinking. What will you do if this dishwasher meal doesn't work? What are you gonna eat for dinner, Santi? When will you have time to cook a meal for you and your hangry wife? Yo, you weren't thinking that? Well, Claudia was, and she had no problem reminding me over and over. Clearly, she doesn't pay attention to the kitchen because I've been cooking dinner. Thanks to our sponsor for today, Sous Vide. The Sous Vide kitchen robot is a smart countertop oven and comes with a meal delivery service. It makes planning meals really easy, and setting up a meal only takes a couple of minutes. Best part is, you can set up dinner in the morning, and Sous Vide will safely refrigerate and then automatically cook your meal. So even if I'm gone or wrapped up and making a ridiculous dishwasher
Amazing.
meal, my food will be ready when I need it. All you do is load the meal inside and tap the recipe to the appliance to cook. It's like something out of Smart House. No? Disney Channel original movie? Yep.
I mean, it does seem like something out of Smart House. No, yeah.
Am I that old? Don't answer that. You get over 50 meals to pick from, and they're delivered to your door. Plus, they come frozen, so you don't have to stress about the meals going to waste. Have your own recipes you'd rather use? Go for it. It has 2 cooking bays, so you can cook 2 things at once. It has 15 cook modes, like air fry and slow cook, so no matter what you want to make, it's got you. It's how I'm able to feed Claudia on set before she starts looking at me like I'm a cartoon ham. And it feels like you're cheating with how delicious it is and how little effort it takes. But don't just take my word for it. Find out for yourself. Sous Vide offers a 100-day risk-free trial, and they'll even give you 16 free meals. Just head to the link in the description below. Thanks again to Sous Vide for sponsoring us today, and now let's see how our dishwasher meal is gonna turn out, shall we? Okay, so there's nothing to it but to do it. We have our first mini meal here that will tell us everything we need to know before we get to the big meal that I'm gonna make later. So, trusty dishwasher is ready. We have a salmon fillet, vacuum sealed already in a nice little heat-resistant plastic bag. This is weirdly a popular choice in the dishwashing culinary world. It's weird. But if this can cook, it definitely means that our other protein later on can cook as well. And as our side, we have the frozen mac and cheese. Now, the logic here is that cheese is ooey gooey. It should melt at the lower temperatures of the dishwasher. And if the pasta, a relatively stubborn carb, can cook in the hour-and-a-half cycle in the dishwasher, we can pretty much make any other side that we have in mind. What I'm gonna do is wrap this in aluminum foil. As long as we can make it airtight so that water doesn't seep in and that it doesn't make it too insular, meaning that it can still let heat get in so that the side can cook, right? So without further ado, let's do this. Oh, that was satisfying. I ended up removing our mac from its black plastic tub and wrapping the whole block of cheesy goodness in 2 layers of aluminum foil. While Sous Vide typically uses vacuum-sealed bags, hence the name, aluminum foil was a common choice I found online in dishwasher recipes. So hopefully this works. Plus, I don't have a vacuum sealer on hand. Thankfully, our protein already came in a pre-sealed vacuum-sealed bag. We're gonna put the mac and cheese in the top rack because it's a more delicate thing. I actually don't know how dishwashers work. This is kind of like a weird black box of information for me. Like, to me, it's as close to magic as you can get. You put stuff in there, water swishes around, and it gets clean. But when you buy a cup or anything, it says like dishwasher, like safe, but top rack only. So I think the top rack is the more gentle cook. So we're gonna put the mac and cheese there. Should be good. I'm gonna close that up. This is gonna go straight in the bottom. I think that's gonna be, oh, that's gonna get caught. Salmon straight at the bottom. We're gonna close this up. And I think we're just gonna do a normal cycle. I don't think we need to do heavy. It's only 2 items after all. And a
Yeah.
regular heat dry. So we're gonna put normal cycle, heat dry, and we're off. And while we wait for our mini meal to, fingers crossed, actually cook, we should probably take a second to explain what exactly is going on inside that old dishwasher of mine. Because as I mentioned in the footage, prior to this episode, I never really gave the inner workings of my dishwasher much thought. But it's actually super fascinating. Despite what you might think, dishwashers, once closed, don't actually fill the entire inside of the tank like some sort of glorified bath for your dishes, or would-be dinner. Instead, it's more like a real intense shower, or one of those car washes where you ride inside your car. The dishwasher starts its cycle by pumping a tiny bit of water into the bottom of the tub. The bottom of the tub also happens to be where the heating element is. And so, before the water starts to wash in, it's heated to somewhere between 130 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. But at some parts of the cycle, it can even reach as high as 180 degrees Fahrenheit. By the way, the heating element being on the bottom means that it gets significantly hotter down there than compared to the top. Hence, why some of your dishes, like plastic Tupperware, might have a symbol like this on it. The more you know. And this is also why we decided to put our mac and cheese in the penthouse suite. Give it a more gentle cook. Wouldn't want overcooked noodles now, would we? The reason the washing water needs to be so hot is not only because it helps dissolve your dishwashing detergent for a better clean, but the hot environment also makes it easier to remove that caked on food and grease and kill bacteria. Whoa, sorry, sounded like a commercial there for a second. But according to the dishwashing
It kinda did.
detergent company Finish, if the water gets too hot, then the heat actually starts to break down the enzymes in your detergent, ironically, making it less effective. Hence why dishwashers don't get too hot. The question is, does it get hot enough to cook salmon? Well, if we were to cook this sous vide, we'd want the temperature to be somewhere between 110 and 132 degrees Fahrenheit for somewhere between 30 and 90 minutes, which is well within the range our dishwasher can pull off. You know what? This whole dishwasher dinner thing might not actually be that crazy after all. Ooh, it's done. Moment of truth. It's clean. It's done. The drying is ready. I think it's time we do this. All right. I'm so nervous. Okay. Here's what I want to see. I want to not see mac and cheese just sprayed all over the dishwasher. I also want to see plastic still around that
That would be nice if it wasn't all over the dishwasher.
salmon fillet. So, oh, and it's there! And it's there! Okay, we have a clean dishwasher, people. It's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Okay, okay, hold on. I need to get, like, oven mitts. Where are the oven mitts? Let's see this. Oh, yeah, that salmon looks interesting. This looks like...
Yeah. This whole video is interesting.
I'm gonna put this right here on the counter, and we're gonna take it all out. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. Okay, so I have my little plate here. I'm too nervous about the salmon. We're gonna start with the mac and cheese. Nice and airtight seal. It feels soft. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's crazy. Hold on, there we go. Okay, I mean, it's not like the most melted, but it is melted. Okay, hold on. I need to try this. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my. Okay, hold on. First of all, this mac and cheese is great. I didn't take, like, note of what brand it is. It's soft. It's cheesy. It's creamy. Trying not to freak out right now. I'm a little nervous. Okay. I mean, it smells like salmon. This wasn't marinated or anything or seasoned. The trick is the temperature. 131. Okay. So 132, roughly. It was still climbing. Oh, God. This does not look appetizing. We're just gonna... 132. How unsafe would it be to just taste test this? Let's see. Let's do a little cross section here. Okay, I mean, look at the middle. It's not uncooked. It's not raw. Fear Think would like to remind you that consuming raw or undercooked meats, poultry, seafood, shellfish, or eggs may increase your risk of foodborne illness, especially if you have certain medical conditions. Don't try this at home. Sadly, try this at home and you still being a dum-dum. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Ironic that it was in a dishwasher because it is super dry. Wow, it's almost overcooked. It was in there for way too long. It's very edible, which is really weird. If I had marinated it and I think a little more juice, this might actually be good. Wow, I honestly don't know what to say. I was fully expecting for that to not work at all. So the fact that any of this was edible, huge win. I figured I was gonna need to crank up the heat on my dishwasher to be able to see any results. But I'm starting to see why there's so many people out there who swear by dishwasher meals. Oh yeah, you heard that right. Dishwasher meals weren't an insane idea cooked up in the mind of yours truly. People have been cooking meals in their dishwashers since ancient times. Okay, well, not ancient times, but you get the point. There are tons of articles, testimonials, and recipes online from people trying to be more efficient, save money, or just plain test their culinary skills. Heck, even Oprah.
That's true.
used to have some dishwasher recipes back in the day. And what seems to be the dishwasher chef's favorite go-to? Salmon. So much so, there's even a whole Wikipedia page called Dishwasher Salmon, which might now be my favorite page of all time. In fact, I'm not even the first man of science to attempt this crazy culinary challenge. Way back in the day, the Mythbusters invited Chef Alton Brown on their show to see if they could cook a lasagna in a dishwasher. But I am taking this a step even further than the Mythbusters, making an entire 3-dish meal for my wife and I in our dishwasher. And since we're getting close to the holidays, I decided to make a nice Christmas dinner. Or should I say, Dishmas dinner. I'm so sorry for that, it hurt me more than it hurt you. And since the last wash cycle ended up taking nearly 2 hours, I only have time to cook one more option before Claudia gets home. So we have to shove all of them into the same cycle. But if the first round is any indication, this should be a piece of cake. Or ham. Okay, I'm feeling confident. So confident that you may notice I put something on our merch buy now at theverse.store, but the reason I did it is for this. Okay, let's go. That was so loud. We're ready for meal 2. Now this is what we got. We got mashed potatoes in a bag. They're obviously not mashed. They are sliced nice and thin with butter, cream cheese, and milk. The idea is when it comes out, while it's still in the bag, we'll give it a mash, hopefully get a good mashed potato. Our other side, honey glazed carrots with some Slovenian herbs, and a maple Dijon cooked ham, which I'm very excited for, but it's a big chunky boy. Our only problem, I didn't have a vacuum sealer to be able to properly sous vide. So we're just gonna use Ziploc bags and hope that doesn't ruin everything. Some of you may be wondering, Santi, why aren't you putting plates and stuff in there? I'll tell you why, young internet sleuth. It's because there's a sensor in the washing machine. And when the water comes out soiled, the sensor picks it up and keeps the cycle going. So the normal cycle in this washing machine can go from 2 hours to 3 hours and 10 minutes. So if the water's soiled, it'll increase that time, which increases the probability of overcooking and drying out the ham. So without putting anything else in there, the water will be clean and keep it to the minimum amount of time. Without further ado, the ham is going in. We're gonna put the ham on the bottom just by itself. On the top, we're gonna put our sides. We're gonna put our carrots right here, nice and good. And we're gonna put our mashed taters. You know what? Actually, I'm calling an audible. I think the mashed potatoes are gonna have to go on the bottom because this is heavy. This is like probably like 5 pounds of potatoes right here. So I want to make sure that it gets cooked. We're gonna put this right here next to the ham. And fingers crossed. Ready, cycle, normal, start. But as I stood there waiting another 2 hours for my second meal to cook, I started to wonder, is this whole dishwasher thing really that efficient? Because when you think about it, when during the course of making dinner do you have the most dirty dishes? After you cook the meal. So once you're done making dinner, you're gonna have to run the dishwasher again. Sort of defeating the whole purpose, don't you think? I guess the strat here would be to wash last night's dishes with 2 nights' dinner. But you know what? Here's the thing. Even if you do all that, you're still gonna have to whip out the pots and pans to make your dishwasher meals come together.
Yeah, that's true.
Why? Because a bunch of the meat recipes I found online recommend finishing off your sous vide or dishwasher dinner with a nice sear on the stove. Well, if I'm just gonna be pulling out my pans anyway, why go through this whole dishmas dinner idea in the first place? Well, like I said at the top of the episode, time is money. But you know what else is money? Money. Maybe I'm really saving a bunch of money by making all my meals dishwasher safe. Let's do the math. In order to find out how much energy an appliance uses in kilowatt hours, you take the power of the appliance in watts, multiply it by the amount of hours you use it, then divide that by 1,000. On average, your typical dishwasher has a power of around 1,800 watts.
Imagine making stuff in a washing machine or a dryer. That will be interesting.
Running that for around 2 hours means that your typical dishwasher...
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
dishwasher uses around 3.6 kilowatt hours of energy. Based on standard electricity rates in the United States, running a load of the dishwasher costs just 59 cents, plus the roughly 4 gallons of water used. Now, ovens, on the other hand, draw significantly more power than a typical dishwasher, but for less time. So how much are you wasting by firing up the old oven? Ovens end up using around 3,000 watts of power. Assuming that we run it for about an hour, factoring in the time that it takes to preheat and all that, that means a typical oven cycle will use around 3 kilowatts of energy per cook session, which you'll notice is actually less than our 2-hour dishwasher cycle we calculated earlier. But remember, we're talking about using our dishwasher to eliminate our need to run the oven every day. So in total, replacing your oven usage once a day with your dishwasher, you'll save approximately 49 cents per day, or around $179 per year, which, considering all the hassle I've gone through today, is it really worth it? That depends on how our 3-dish feast turns out. It is clean. It is hopefully cooked. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. I smell a little bit of ham. Yep, I definitely smell ham, and I can't see anything. Okay, it looks like the Ziplocs. It looks like the Ziplocs have survived. Come on. Okay. There we go. Ziplocs have survived. Ooh, they're not looking too great. Okay, the Ziplocs, they're like on their last legs. Ooh, okay, but the carrots look nice. Carrots, we got some better carrots. They're softer. We'll see about a taste test in a second. And now, our ham. Ooh, boy. Okay, we have a slightly pinker color. It's not uniform, which is not ideal, but we're still going to put our meat thermometer all up in it and see where we're at. So, first, let's do this mashed potato, shall we? Let's see if we can... Oh, yep, no, the potatoes are most definitely not, they're not gonna be mashable. They're hot, but they're not cooked. They are still kind of raw, like if I were to take it, there we go. Yeah, see, that is not the best. I can barely break it, yeah. We're starting off on a low point. Okay, now let's test the carrots. I'm hopeful for the carrots, because baby carrots are baby carrots. Like, it's not like they need to be super cooked, but hopefully they're a little softer.
Yeah, baby carrots don't really need cooked that much.
I mean, still crunchy, softer, not mushy. Accentuated flavor. I'm gonna say the carrots are a success. Honestly, like, they're not as soft as you might want them roasted, but they definitely have way more flavor. A lot more flavor. It really seeped in there. Okay, I'm happy. Moment of truth. We're gonna take out a nice chunk of this cooked ham. 106, 118. Okay, we're about 20 degrees short of where we needed to be for this to be safe to eat. I mean, if you just look at that, this one slice maybe is better than the others. Dear Think still would like to remind you that consuming raw or undercooked meat, poultry, seafood, shellfish, or eggs still may increase your risk of foodborne illness, especially if you have certain medical conditions. Satya is being a real dum-dum here. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, that's true.
Flavor is great. I mean, it's ham. You can't really go wrong with that. I will say the maple and Dijon that I put on there, not to toot my own horn, is great. More than anything, it's still juicy, which the salmon was not. The salmon was super dry. So this at least is somewhat cooked. I'm not gonna have Claudia eat this and then vomit her brains out. But
yeah,
it is juicy. It doesn't dry out the mouth. Plus with the carrots, that is definitely the face of a man trying to pretend he didn't just botch Christmas dinner. But where did it all go wrong? Why did the mac and cheese and salmon turn out near perfect, and this time we ended up with some crunchy carrots and a whole lot of nothing? Well, it seems that there were a few mistakes we made along the way, starting with the congealed mess formerly known as mashed potatoes. It would seem that being unable to actually stir the ingredients together like we would in a saucepan might have led to our less than stellar results. Another problem might have been our choice of bags. If you really want to sous vide something, it's strongly recommended you use vacuum sealed bags. Why? Because any excess air trapped inside the bag can create uneven heat pockets, the opposite of what you would want to have when you're sous vide. As for our ham sashimi, I perhaps went a little too beefy, or I guess porky, with my meat choice. Even though our sous vide adjacent setup did mostly cook the piece evenly, it just didn't have long enough at the right temperature to get it up to that safe 140 degrees I needed. Perhaps a 3 or 4 hour pots and pan cycle might have gotten the job done. And Claudia's gonna be home soon. Yeah, I can't in any sort of good conscience feed or even show her this abomination. But I also can't just leave the dinner table empty, and a box of Triscuits won't do. So with my last half hour before she got back, I made one last trip to the store to assemble us a banger holiday girl dinner. And you know what? It's less dishes that way anyway. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Buen provecho. And if your dinner plans fall apart like mine and just need a warm cup of hot cocoa to soothe your soul, go click the card on screen to watch me make the best cup of hot chocolate. And as always, I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Let's do that one next.
Okay, after I get done with this reaction, I will react to that one separately.
Okay.
This was a interesting video reaction.
Tomorrow's Saturday, then Sunday you're getting your package. And
Yes.
then Monday I'm getting my pretzels.
Hopefully not your present. From me.
Huh?
Hopefully you never get
Alright.
your present. Okay, you will.
Sure.
Oh, they said Monday
During-
through Friday. You should get it.
Okay.
Monday or Friday. Anyway, this will be the end of the reaction. If you like the reaction, like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you want us to react to next. Hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever we upload. Person good love on Nathan Butters. Without further ado, Nathan Butters, and we are out.